Hey everybody, Joel, Moose Wrappings by ImportSauce.com. We're in the middle of getting this engine booted back up, getting ready to go in, but I wanted to just show you how to change your cam seal gear, cam gear seals. So a lot of times people have some leaking and stuff coming out from the side here. It's not too difficult, and since we have the tools out, we'll go ahead and show you how you would complete that process by yourself. Okay, so starting off here is the cam gear seal. These ones are brand new, already installed. We installed them on the cam assembly before we, as we were putting the head together for this engine build. But while we have everything here, I wanted to show you. It's a lot easier when you have the whole cam out, because it pretty much can slide on from the back and it butts up right against the back of that. So the tools that you will need for this, cam locking tool. So this is a kind of a double kit. Let's get out of the sun here. It comes with the cam locking tool, which will show you how that works. And it also comes with the timing cover compression plate. So this tool is great when you have to install your timing cover on here. And you have these 46 M7 by 35s that go around it. It'll actually sandwich that down so that you can just go around and zoop those all up. So the cam locking tool is going to go on back here. So you're going to start off, and you're going to need new caps here that go on. These are single use, and those are the Volvo cam plug, as they call it. There's the part number there. And because once you get these out, you will not be able to reuse them. You have to damage them to get them out. So those will be on here. And you're gonna take like a small screwdriver, and you're just gonna kind of pop it and puncture and then pry those out. Those are trash at that point. From there, you will see I don't know, it's whatever this cap is, but it has the different lobes and grooves, and that is what right up here the cam position sensor is going to read. T30 on here, and those are on very tight. So first you will get those off, and don't mix them up. Part number ending in 9.7 is intake side, exhaust side ends in 9.8. These only go on one way, but T30, get these off, put that aside. Actually, let me use that to kind of pop this guy back out. There we go. Put that aside. And we'll see. Now that you have both of these exposed, you can get the cam locking tool on there. You probably set your engine to top dead center. Within that tool comes a crank lock tool, and this actually just slides in. There's a little plug here, I believe it's T40. Pull that out and you slide this in, and then it will prevent the engine. It will let you spin it all the way until you get to top dead center. And when you're trying to spin, well, the bolt's loose, but I had already locked it in at top dead center. And you can also confirm that if your crank was off by the timing mark here, which lines up with that mark right there. So we can see that's dead on. And we know we're at TDC. But once you pop these off, you can just spin the crank until, well, yeah, with those caps off, until you see the alignment there, which has to be pretty much straight across so that you can get the cam locking tool on. So I'm gonna grab that, put it on, show you what that looks like. Okay, so that is in. The ends of the tool, here's a extension that comes with it, but you can see they have that shape in there, right? So they're going to only fit in one way. And at that point, This middle will rest on the timing cover, and it will square the two of those up, 12 millimeter, and you go ahead and put those in, and now the cams are locked. At that point, you can come over to this side. And aside from this, which is let's take a look at what we got here. Is that T50? Nope. T55, right? So you won't see that yet. Before you see that, sorry, that's what the T50 is for, right? So you have these caps that are on there. They have seals on them. I'll show you a brand new one. Brand new one. We bought 2 new ones because these things strip out. If you're planning on doing this, I would order them. They're only a couple bucks. Because these things get seated on there. So, right, this is in there. T50, you're going to spin that off, and you can see how shallow that is. That's what I'm saying. Just buy a new one. They're only a couple bucks. They come with the new O-ring on it, because you don't want to get through the project and then be ready to suit everything up and realize, oh shit, I don't have what it takes to put it back together, because those seal any oil that filters and flows on the inside of there. So once you get that T off, your gears are well, yours are locked in because your bolt is still in, but then you're gonna zoop this guy out, and that's the 55, right? Pull that out, put that aside, and then at that point you can get the gear off, and then this is what you will see. So then you can, same thing, very delicately pry that out. Let's try not to hit any of the surfaces in there, and then once that's out, you can have your new one and install it. There's a special tool. It looks like a giant socket, and it has an end on it where you would put this on and you would tighten it, and it will perfectly seat this. But as you can see, it's pretty much seated in there evenly all the way around. I think that tool is really more to confirm that you're going in evenly, but last time we did this, we didn't have any of these fancy tools, and we were able to get ours seated with no problem. So out, in, and then in reverse order. Make sure that you when you put your gear back on, that you look for your timing mark. Ours are very accentuated, and while yours is off, it might be a good time to kind of grind those down a little more and maybe do some kind of white or some kind of marker so that you can make sure, because you can easily put that in wrong, and then you're going to say, well, the cam is lobes and everything still lines up there, but anybody in the future who has to work on this car is going to be very confused, and then if they try to set the marks to line up with our timing mark and the cam gear wasn't set properly, then you're going to be responsible for blowing someone's head up. So pay attention to that when you're putting it back on. When you put the cam position or the cam locking tool in, everything's going to be at TDC. So make sure that the gears don't just go back on anyway. There's no notches or grooves or anything on here to prevent it from being wrong like that, right? So pay attention to that. And when you're tightening everything down in here, make sure that maybe you're holding on to this or somebody's holding it, just to make sure that your timing marks stay aligned so that everything on the markup is true. And then just go ahead and do everything in reverse order, put everything back on, and you're good to go. So the parts, definitely the seals, I would get the new caps on there, and then you're going to need the new back plugs as well. Aside from that, in terms of tools, we saw the T50, we saw the T55, we saw a small screwdriver, and we saw the cam locking tool, which comes with the crank locking tool as well. So hopefully that helps.